I saw something interesting yesterday that I wanted to share with you about health, but this is really not something that is completely about health. It's about well-being and living a life, the optimal life. That's what we talk about here. So often when I work with people, we're working on a goal. It seems like we're all in our head. And then we start to realize that there's so much else going on that we have to work with, kind of the whole being. So in working with the whole being, one of the key factors that seems to be really super important these days is working with the brain-body-mind connection. And so this idea that I just said, whereas everything is all one, you're not just your body, you're not just your mind, you're not just your brain. You're a combination, a sum of that, is what Deepak Chopra and Randy Tanzi were talking about yesterday. So they mentioned this acronym that has to do with the vitality of life, the ELIXIR of life, as I was calling it. It has to do with the avoidance of inflammation. So that sounds odd. Why would you even really focus on that? It's because modern science has discovered that the inflammation in the body, as well as in the brain, the mind, all of the parts of us, is one of the root physiological causes of our ailments, of our diagnoses that end up coming up. And it's everything from Alzheimer's to diabetes, and all of it is considered inflammation based. So if you can eliminate inflammation in your body, then you can achieve your goals a lot easier. That's kind of one of the ways that I look at it. You can live an optimal life. You want to feel good while you're doing what you're doing. So let's take a look at it. S.H.I.E.L.D. is an acronym. S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for sleep. I should say the S stands for sleep. 8 to 7 hours a night. Rudy Tanzi said even take naps if you need to. So this is a really big issue when I work with people. Sleep is a surprising, under-addressed issue. The difficulty in sleep, especially when things are going a little rocky, it's harder to sleep. And especially in our older years, it's harder for us to sleep. So start looking at one of the ways that you can enhance your sleeping. One of the things that Deepak Chopra was talking about was yoga nidra, which means the yoga of sleep. It has steps that you can go through. Maybe that's something that we'll talk about eventually, but it has different steps that you can go through when you put yourself to sleep. And when I work with people, we work with those steps and some other ones that I've developed too. So how are you sleeping? That's the question. Do you need a supplement, a natural supplement that will enhance your sleeping? As we get older, our serotonin, our melatonin, all get a little bit less, and we need to supplement some of that sometimes. So the next one is H, the part of S.H.I.E.L.D, H, which stands for handle it. So how are you handling and how are you managing your stress? Stress is a process, and it's a process that's the natural built-in thing when we've perceived that there's some sort of danger going on. Nowadays, stress and danger are really different than they used to be, but we still have that prime instinct to put up our defenses. And sometimes we need to soothe that nervous system in order to really handle and manage our stress. You know a lot of the ways already, and but take a look at it. How is your stress being handled? And then I is interact. Socialization, enjoyable socialization. I would say take it live. In other words, person to person from time to time. And also community. Going out into the community in some ways. There are so many ways to socialize nowadays more than ever. Meetup.com. If you've never heard of it, meetup.com is a site where you can put in any of your interest, and there's a whole group of people already doing that. You can join that group, and you can have socialization. That's one wonderful way to do it. And then cities have a wonderful sort of socialization opportunities, as well as groups and organizations. So it doesn't always have to be one-on-one. You can go to events and absorb the socialization and enjoy that part of it too. So the next one is E. It's exercise. Oh yes, the exercise thing. You know, talk about the exercise. He just says 8,000 steps, whatever that means for you. So, you know, getting up, not sitting all the time, getting up and moving around your own house, moving around your own backyard, taking walks, but mostly moving in ways that you enjoy. So figuring out what that is for you. You know, how do you like to move to music? It doesn't have to be a going to the gym. It doesn't have to be real formalized. It doesn't have to be everything the same all the time, but it does need to be consistent. So looking at your movement there. And then L stands for learning new things. You want to keep those neurons reproducing so that there's not stagnation in the brain. You want to keep things moving around in there. One of the best things to do is to learn new things. You're doing it right now. You're learning about S.H.I.E.L.D. So stay plugged in to new learning new things. And this is also a big issue when I work with people that come up, that even in people who are really highly skilled, sometimes think that they can't go to the next thing to learn because of whatever restrictions. Let go of the restrictions and take things in small steps if you need to. And it doesn't have to be conventional learning. It can be whatever appeals to you. So learn new things. And then D, this is your diet. So what you eat. I loved what Deepak Chopra said. He said, eat by colors. I like that. Instead of having to worry about everything, you know, you've heard that thing, shop around the edges of the grocery store. That's where the colorful things are. And those have all of the nutrients in it. And he also mentioned some of the herbs, spices, chili, ginger, pepper, turmeric. Include some of those in your diet to help reduce the inflammation. I take turmeric in the pill form, about 2 tablets a day, to help reduce inflammation. He also mentioned omega-3 fatty acids. You've heard of all this stuff. And fiber as a pre-probiotic. So those are some reminders of including your diet. So S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of the ways to reduce the inflammation and to create brain-body-mind connection. There you go. That's the wonderful Healing Self PBS show that I was watching yesterday that I wanted to share with you because I thought I like simple things like that. So the challenge is just to look at where in your life could you pay some attention to optimize your living. Okay, I'd love to hear from you. Take care.